Anyways, hey, I'm Spenser.
And I'm Britain.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 290 albums in his Pikes series, and we're going to listen to them.
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head.
Welcome, bots, slogs, friends, and bucketheads. This is episode 43 of Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
43!
43.
I got nothing.
What was that movie, 43?
Oh, right,
that
really
was a
shitty
film that took them like 10 years to make.
I didn't see
and,
that.
A bunch of people like sued to get out of it, like George Clooney and shit like that. It's terrible. It's
You've
dog
watched it.
Shit.
You've watched it.
I watch all the worst films.
Oh, well, we know this, but you've seen this one in particular. I remember Monty saw this film and told me that it was not great.
It's as though they took like Kentucky Fried Movie and fried it until it was burnt.
Oh, yeah. It's a deep-fried Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah, it's a extra crispy Kentucky Fried Movie. It's fucking... Although extra crispy's better, so I guess it's like the baked version of Kentucky Fried Movie, because no one... Do they even still have the baked chicken at KFC?
People only want extra crispy.
That shit sucked. Everyone hated that.
Okay, all right. As someone who worked at KFC when he was 16 years old, do you want to know the secrets? Do you want to know the deep, dark KFC shit? Okay, check this out. You know the difference between the two different types of chicken?
Yeah.
Do you? Tell me.
I'm guessing one is double dredged.
So by that you mean like it gets dipped in the powder twice?
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the same exact powder.
Yeah.
That is literally the only thing.
Oh, I know. No,
like, they just get dipped again.
As I've discussed in the Bucketjokes segment before, the 11 herbs and spices are the 11 different flavors of dried cum on the workers' hands who work there.
There's this one dude that I worked with for a while. He didn't want to wear gloves when he was making the fried chicken. Like, everybody wore gloves because it was fucking gross. But, like, that dude just, like, didn't want to wear gloves. And at the end of the day, like, his first day, I remember, end of the day, his hands were just, like, fucking gnarly, just coated in this, like, raw chicken slime and, like, just terrible. And I was like, that's fucking gross, dude. You should have just worn gloves. Like, what the fuck? He was, like, 45. I was like, bro.
You know, he went home and fisted his wife with that hand after work, right? That's their thing.
Woof. I mean, I hope somebody's...
More like cluck.
I mean, I hope somebody's getting something out of it. Because, like, all I got out of it was like, ugh, your hands, bro. Gross. I hate it.
Yeah, dude, why do you think he was like, no to gloves? Like, you know that man never gloves up, if you know what I mean. He goes in raw like that chicken, baby.
You gotta glove up. Yep. Gloving up is all right. It's not the worst.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I wear gloves at work sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, 43. I got nothing for 43.
It's cool. I already supplemented it. It's movie 43.
Movie 40, episode 43 of Getting Head of Bucketcast. Movie 43. Yes. You know what's the best? Okay, I was gonna ask a question, but there's a very obvious answer here, so I don't want to ask the question anymore. Yeah. And that is the greatest number in the history of film titles. Obviously, is Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, two and a half is pretty fun too.
It is, but I like that they continued the theme.
Right.
With the next film in the series. We got to watch all the Naked Guns. That should be after Police Academy. Let's do Naked Guns.
Okay, I'm down. We should also watch the Police Files or whatever that the Naked Gun is based off of.
Oh, right, the show. Yeah. I've never seen the show.
It's really funny. It's honestly like it's almost like a cop procedural version of like Darkplace in a way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Listener, if you're not familiar, Google Garth Marenghi's Darkplace.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can't spell that, but just do your best. Google will figure it out.
Incredibly good show. Only lasted for one season. Stars one of my very favorite actors, Matt Berry, who's now on the television show What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Classic actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a bunch of funny shit. And he's in that show with the executioners. What the fuck is that show called?
I have no idea.
I watched the show with you.
Oh,
it's the show with the fucking executioner guys, and it's super dark, and it's them just like talking about dumb bullshit while they are killing people. I watched it with you and Scott like
this sounds familiar, but
12 years
I do
ago.
not remember what it is at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Matt Berry's in it, and he's very funny.
Also, oddly enough, he also does a lot of solo music that's like psychedelic rock, and it's not bad. It's not bad. I listened to a couple of his albums. It's pretty fun. I would recommend it if you like, like 70s psychedelic rock. Pretty good. He plays like every instrument. He's a really good keyboardist, pretty good drummer, pretty good guitarist, decent singer. Pretty fun.
Tight. That's rad, dude. Mm-hmm. I love that. Hey, Britt, do you remember a few weeks ago when we met up in the park and ended up getting blackout drunk?
Yeah, I do. Barely.
We've not told this story yet, but I feel like it's time.
Right. I keep on.
Because we keep putting it off because things keep happening. We keep having guests. Yeah. We keep having interesting things to talk about, so we don't come back.
In life.
So we don't come back to this, but I don't want it to get lost.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. I'll go ahead and tell this story. So a few weeks ago on a Sunday, 3 Sundays ago, I want to say, something like that.
Maybe 3 or 4 Sundays ago. It was a while ago, but not that long.
Spenser just hit me up, and he was like, hey, dude, I'm off today. Just hanging out. It's a nice day. You want to go, drink beers in the park? And I'm like, it's a fucking Sunday.
Fucking A, dude, right? Oh, it was nice, yeah.
So we went to the park, shared a 6-pack together. Not super strong beer or anything.
No, it was like 6%, maybe like 5 and 5.6
nice
something
day
like that.
drinking beer. And so after that, we went to a local brew pub.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just gonna say at this point, like I was feeling really good. Like it was 3 beers, but we were in the sun and
this was over the course of like 2 hours.
Yeah, so. we weren't just like pounding them, we were sipping on them, and so it was like I was feeling really good, and I was like, cool, yeah, we're gonna walk over to this brewery by my house. That's gonna be chill. We can sit outside. We got an amazing table, right in the sun, like super nice.
And so we're just hanging out there. We have like another 3 beers apiece, so we're at 6 beers now.
Which is admittedly a lot of beers. Like I don't typically cross the 4 beers threshold. Yeah. Even the 3 beer threshold, honestly, I don't cross often.
But it was, it was a nice day. We had been hanging out for like 5 hours. So
yeah,
it was
totally.
It was very paced. And, we really shouldn't have been more than buzzed over that period of time, but I don't think any of us really ate anything.
No, we didn't eat anything.
The next thing I actually remember once we left.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that you were getting me were these alcoholic kombucha drinks or something. Mm-hmm. And I only remember this vaguely because you brought it up to me later. Like I don't even remember drinking them, but you got me
2 of them.
2 of them, yeah, I know. I don't even remember because at the halfway through the second one, this would have been my 6th drink. Halfway through the second one, I just was like, I need to go to the restroom and I'm going to vomit, and I just have to do that immediately. And so I projectile vomited all over the restroom.
Hell yeah,
as you do. I then took selfies of myself in the restroom, sitting on the ground, covered in puke. Because I thought that would be funny, and yes, it is. It's very fucking funny.
You were covered in puke?
Yeah, I got it all in my hair and shit. 'Cause, I got long hair. When you throw up, you throw up into your hair often. Not all the time.
I've done that once in my life.
Well, I'm at a rocker bottom than you, okay? So just fucking... it's cool, all right?
Do you think... Yeah, do you think the rock bottom they talk about in AA is actually just the Rock Woodfired Pizza?
That's if you're in the Rock Woodfired Pizza while they are playing Christian rock really loud, and you're just pounding like Michelobes, bro.
Yeah, maybe pounding Michelob Ultras.
Yeah, Michelob Ultras.
Fucking just doing lines of baby laxative in the restroom.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's what you do. For the unaware, the Rock Woodfired Pizza is a bullshit ass fucking normie restaurant around here.
All of their shit is like specialty pizzas, like fucking Bruce Springsteen's East Street meatball pistarona.
Whoa.
And
Sorry,
like Bob Seger's cat mandu. Yeah. They
Bob
are
Seger's catfish mandu. No, hold on.
Bob Seger's cat pizza.
A real cat. No, they actually have like rock and roll themed food.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and drinks.
No.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so
I don't believe this.
You know what we're gonna do is during statements from the Bucket Void, we are gonna go ahead and look at that motherfucking menu.
Okay. Yeah, we can take a peek at that. Okay. That's a great idea. Anyways, to get back on track here, I threw up all over myself in the bathroom. I took selfies of it because I thought it was funny. They are funny, by the way.
I bet.
We can use we don't get to use like a picture for each episode, do we? We don't get to do that.
We can.
We should.
Okay.
We could use the picture of me covered in puke. Like that's
awesome.
That's a pretty
and
good
I'll just
picture.
put a bucket on your head.
Yes. Bucket drunk.
Yeah, that's your dunce cap right there.
Hell yeah. Anyways, after I puked, I was like, we gotta go. And you were like, yeah, okay. I don't remember walking back to my house.
So here's the thing. I don't remember anything up until the point where I found myself in Kirkland. And
Kirkland, Washington is maybe 30 miles away from here.
Oh, no, it's like 6 miles away from here. It's I can walk.
Really?
I've walked here.
Oh, okay.
Kirkland
well,
before.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you go across 520, if you go the other way,
you're talking about going all the way north. Yeah, of course it is if you go all the way over. But yeah, it's pretty close. You can actually walk it in 2 or 3 hours.
Sure, you could do that.
And so we left at like 7 or 8 or something like that. And the next thing I know, it's like 11 o'clock and I'm in Kirkland and it's like later than the buses go on Sunday. And I'm in like a place in Kirkland that like the bus doesn't really drop people off at. and I'm like, what? And I don't even know I'm in Kirkland because I remember looking at my phone and like, I was like, shit, I need to get back home. And like all the buses have stopped running. Mm-hmm. So I ordered a Lyft somehow from Redmond, Washington to go to my house. But then like I realized I was like within 15 minutes walking distance of my house. And so I text you and I'm like, I think I walked to Kirkland. And you're like, what? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
So when you texted me, I had come to, so to speak, and I was just like on my couch listening to Black Label Society.
Sick.
And I was like, oh no, that's whoa. Bad. I need to eat food.
Right.
Like this is fucked. It's like 11 o'clock. I don't know how I got home. I think we smoked a joint on the walk back to my house, and I think that's why I don't remember it.
Rolls, so yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what we did.
Cool.
So, that's why, shit got stupid.
So I'm at Kirkland, and I'm like, I just see this cat on the street, and I'm drunk. I love like playing with street cats anyway.
Oh,
so I follow this street cat to this building that's got like flagpoles in it, and it looks like very official or something, like a public building. And so I'm like, oh, I can go on this lawn and play with this cat on this lawn.
Yeah.
It's definitely not someone's home or anything.
Sure.
And so I play with a cat for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, take a bunch of videos of it, and like send them to people. And then for some reason, delete the videos. And then, after I'm done with the cat,
you did do that. You sent me a video of you petting the cat. You're like, this cat rules. And you're like, the video is you laying on the grass, like just like spread eagle on the grass. You're holding the camera up, so you're holding the phone up, and you're like petting a cat, and you've put text over the video that says, this cat rules, and a bunch of exclamation points.
So I go ahead and do that, and for some reason delete the videos. And then I figure out my way home.
Hiding your shame.
Yeah, I figure out my way home, but I don't like look for it on maps or anything. I just kind of knew where I was at because I saw like the Google buildings. And so, I get home, and like the moment I get home, I reach in my pocket for my keys and realize my keys have gone missing, which is terrible.
That fucking sucks.
It really does, because, it costs a couple $100 to replace my accurate car key and shit like that. It's like huge hassle. So the next day I wake up like really hungover at like 6 a.m.
You got into your house, though.
I did. I have an extra key.
Okay, good.
But so next day I get up at 6 a.m. and like I'm like, fuck, I lost my keys. So like I'm like, I think it was around Google, because I do remember seeing the Google buildings, and that's how I found my way home. And so I go and just walk around with Google looking for like a place that has a flagpole or whatever. Can't find fucking anything for like an hour and a half. So I just go back home, defeated, sleep off my hangover. I get back up,
as you do,
and I'm fucking fretting over this. I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to have to like get new keys and shit. So I'm like, how can I figure out where this was? So I go and like find a video that I sent someone and then deleted and download it to my phone. But because I sent it on like Instagram, it converted into MOV. So it lost all of the ASCII data on it showing its location.
Like the metadata.
Yeah, the metadata. And so I had to go and reconvert it back into its original form. And the metadata,
which was like what, like H.246 or what's that fucking codec?
Yeah, it was a weird like Apple specific codec.
It's like the HVEC, whatever.
Yeah. And so I reconverted it, got the EXIF data, put it back on my phone, and it showed me exactly where I took the video.
Amazing.
And so, yeah, it was awesome. Great detective work, Britt. But,
hell yeah. Thanks for saying my line for me.
What? Oh, you're welcome. So I go to this place, and as I'm walking up to it, I realize why it looked so much like a public building.
Why? Tell me.
Because it's the Kirkland mayor's house. And they have several flagpoles.
Exactly.
Several flagpoles out front. Now I know the mayor through a job I used to do, and she was sitting there on the porch. It was a really nice day out, and so she's just kind of sitting on the porch having a glass of lemonade, and I come walking up the stairs.
Wait, really? Like she's drinking actual lemonade?
I think so. It was something like, it was either that or like a cocktail or something, maybe a margarita. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but it looked lemonade-ish. And I was like, hey, listen, I was wandering around last night, and your cat was like out on the street, so I started playing with your cat here, and I think I might have lost my keys on your lawn. And she's like, I don't have a cat. And I'm like, oh, well, I was playing with a cat on this lawn. Would you mind if I check? And she's like, yeah, go for it. So
amazing.
I just like walk one step on the lawn, and sitting right there are my keys and a giant vape pen.
Yes.
And I pretty much just like pick it up, and I'm like, oh, there they are, thanks, bye, and just like run away.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do at that point.
Like what? Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. That was fun.
That's amazing. What a time. Yeah.
Indeed.
Like, what a fucking time. How did that even, I don't know. We went on an adventure. I was wanting to go on an adventure. I wasn't expecting it would take the turns that it did.
A little bit more than you bargained for, I believe.
Certainly. Yeah. You finding your keys, though, that's some, like, Lord of the Rings shit.
Yeah, no, that was a relief. It was one of those days where you wake up and you're like, I will never drink again.
Yeah.
And then, like, by the end of the day,
too.
you're like, I deserve a drink.
Oh no,
I did a good job.
Yeah, no, that was quite an adventure, quite a time. It definitely put me off of drinking for a few days after that. I was like, dude, I gotta like take a break here. It was just interesting to me how it spiraled out of control, and was pretty fun. I really liked the part about the EXIF data. That's truly funny. And truly amazing.
Dude, it was an absolute nightmare.
Good job.
Thank you. No, like, I was just, like, racking my brain, like, how the fuck do I do this? And, like, everything worked out, and I'm like, I felt like Hacker Man, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You were definitely a bucket hacker.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. I hacked the planet, dog.
You hacked the bucket.
I did. Hack the bucket.
That's the name of the episode.
It might be. It might have to be.
Brit.
Spenser.
I was wondering if you would be so kind as to hit us with a bucket fact.
I would love to.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact.
Today, we are going to talk about one of Buckethead's very long-time collaborators, probably his longest collaborator, unless you consider Bill Laswell, or maybe Pinchface from the Deli Creeps.
Okay. Is it pea sticks? We're talking about pea sticks again?
No. Today, we're going to talk about bassist extraordinaire, maybe the greatest living god of funk.
Oh my gosh.
Bootsy motherfucking Collins, baby.
Oh man, you know.
We
Bootsy's
love a Bootsy.
Bootsy's such a king.
Born in 1951 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He said that his mother named him Bootsy. I asked her why, he explained to a journalist, and she just said, because you looked like a Bootsy, and left it at that.
I mean, I agree.
He is the Bootsy.
Truly.
At age 16, Bootsy, along with his guitarist brother Catfish and a couple other friends, formed a funk band called the Pacemakers. A couple years later, after his band quit as part of a pay dispute, soul legend James Brown hired Bootsy at 18 years old.
Holy fuck.
And his entire band is his rhythm section.
That's so awesome.
They were known as the JBs, and they only played with James Brown for 11 months. But within that year, they released some of Brown's most iconic songs, including Sex Machine, Superbad, and Soul Power.
Wow. That's really impressive.
After this brief stint with James Brown, Bootsy embarked on a very long collaboration with George Clinton and Parliament, which is probably what he's best known for.
Probably.
Bootsy and Buckethead first started collaborating in 1992 with Bill Laswell's Praxis. Although he is a very seasoned and virtuoso bassist himself, Laswell decided to take a more production and keyboard-centric role for the band in order to let all of the individual virtuoso musicians shine.
Nice.
Since the two have collaborated on multiple projects, with Bootsy appearing often on Buckethead's releases and Bucket appearing on Bootsy's just as frequently. The pair's most recent full album collaboration together was on Science Faction's 2008 album, Living in Another Frequency, along with another Buckethead regular, Brian Brain Mantia.
Nice.
And their most recent collaboration was a cover of Monster Mash they did together, released in 2019.
Wow, I haven't heard that. That sounds amazing.
In a review for Electric Tears, Bootsy Collins stated that Buckethead is his best friend. And I think that is just motherfucking lovely.
Bucket fact.
Wow, what a bucket fact. Wow, you love to see it. I'm blown away every day.
I just
good.
love Bootsy Collins.
I fucking love Bootsy Collins too. Parliament is truly fantastic.
They're some of the most influential and iconic American music ever made.
Agreed.
I'd say they're some of the most uniquely American music to ever exist.
Extremely American.
For
sure.
I love this shit. I mean, yeah, I've been listening to Parliament since I was like 13 years old. I love
that. Is true. When I met you, and you were 16 or 17 when I met you, probably 16 actually, because I was 15, so you would have been 16.
Yeah.
When I met you, yeah, you were like, yeah, Parliament, Funkadelic.
Hell yeah, dude.
You're all about it.
Dude, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They're just one of the best. One of the best.
Love to see it. We listen to 3 more Pikes.
This week, Pike 127, 128, and 129. Paint to the Tile, Tucked into Dreams, and Forever Lake, respectively.
Nice.
Pike 127, Paint to the Tile, released on April 12th, 2015, just 3 days after the previous Pike Tourist. I like this one. It was, I mean, it didn't stand out all, really.
No, but like upon like looking back at it after listening to the other two Pikes this week, I feel like it stands out more.
Really interesting. I kind of feel the opposite way, mostly because I thought the production on this album was not great.
I did notice a little bit. I don't know. I noticed a little bit more inconsistency in like the drum mix and whatnot.
The drum mix, and also like everything was pretty compressed for most of the songs. There was a couple that...
To me, it sounded almost uncompressed. Not uncompressed, but it sounded like it wasn't the kind of compression I like when it comes to like a final mix and master.
The dynamics were... I mean, it was very squeezed. Like, it wasn't a cool, like, scooped compression or anything like that. Everything just sounded a little bit squeezed.
Hey, scoop of compression.
I'm going to turn down the mids. Compress. Like
yes.
a multi-band compression.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, really clamp down on those low mids.
Yeah, take those motherfuckers out.
Yeah, cut them.
I always do a cut at like...
Scoop the mids, baby.
Like
it's okay.
600 hertz. Fuck 600 hertz. Bro.
I'm a big hater when it comes to guitars and like bass specifically, but like guitars too, like that 300 to 400 hertz range is just some dog shit motherfucking bullshit.
You know what else a lot of producers don't take out of the guitars that they really should? Is like anything over like 9,000 hertz.
Sure. I mean, I think a high cut on guitars is really important for sure.
Especially for rhythm guitar, you shouldn't do
for like my distorted guitars. I always do like low cut at around like, I don't know, 80 hertz basically.
Yeah.
And then I do another cut at around like that 300 to 500 hertz range, like usually like a pretty wide cut there. But not super deep, just wide, and then I do like a high cut at, I don't know, somewhere. I can't think off the top of my head, but I do a high cut too. It's nice. I like to roll down to right around like 10,000, 9,000, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
just like cut off those ultra highs because you don't need them. You look at the actual signal itself, and there's nothing even there. So just cut it out. Like
and if it is there, it's going to be weird hisses and shit like that.
Yeah, and you don't want that in your
distortions.
mix.
You don't want, and like a big thing that makes metal mixes sound not heavy is just way too much high end on the guitar.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure. Also, here's the... Okay, we're getting real here for a second, okay? Welcome to the real zone. This is the real zone. You know what? When you listen to a heavy metal album, like a death metal album, a slam album, something fucking heavy, you know what that shit is? All that heaviness? All the heaviness. It's bass. Yep. None of the heaviness is guitars.
Every little bit of it.
Every single amount of heaviness is the bass.
The only thing that even appears like in treble that adds heaviness is like well-triggered bass drums.
That's important because you got to be able to hear those kicks, especially in those more extreme genres. But like in terms of like the actual low frequencies, like the guitar is there to add color to some frequencies a lot higher than the actual like heaviness that you're feeling. The bass is there to fill out that low end, and you got to have it.
And in the case of Suffocation, the guitars actually add real color to the band as well.
Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, Pike 127, Paint to the Tile. I like to imagine he titled this album this because he was like painting his bathroom and was like, yeah, paint to the tile.
Yeah, I guess. I can't imagine. I have a hard time imagining Buckethead doing like really handy stuff at home.
I feel like he's a pretty DIY centric dude. Like,
yeah, but do you think he like wears the mask and everything?
No, like he just like ties his hair back and like puts on
so he doesn't puke all over himself.
Unlike me, yes, was smart enough to think of that. At least I was smart enough to take pictures of myself covered in vomit. Okay, Brit? Like,
yeah, that's the intelligent move, Spenser.
I've made. I was going to say I've made a fortune, but I've made no money at all. In fact, I feel like I'm at a deficit at this point. But I've made a name for myself in dumb idiot bullshit, okay? And let me tell you, those dumb idiot bullshit senses, they go into action when you're drunk, when you're high. That's how you channel that shitty dumbassery.
Shitty dumbassery. Good thing to channel. Paint to the Tile, not the greatest production. Decent songwriting.
But, like, yeah, decent songwriting. Like, it starts off with, like, melodic guitar rock, which is, like, I feel like is iconic Buckethead for me. Like, when I think of Buckethead, I think of, like, Electric Tears-esque stuff, and I also think of, like, melodic guitar rock.
Right.
You know, and like, that isn't to say he doesn't have more facets to his sound, but, like, when I think of him, I think of that. Yeah. And this started off like that, but it takes a change. Like, it actually changes. I feel like the song Shell, right in the middle, is where it goes into, like, he starts playing with dissonance in some pretty interesting ways. Yeah. Which, that's a really cool song. That's probably my favorite
that was
single song.
The best song on this album. It started out with a really cool tapping pattern, too. And the drums were just, like, they just sounded better than the rest of the album. Yeah,
so, like, Shell, I think, is my favorite overall song of this week, but this is not my favorite overall Pike.
Yeah. This, I'd agree with that. Shell definitely stood out. But all 5 tracks together, it felt like a cohesive Buckethead album.
I would say above average, I think.
Would say exactly average, honestly. Like, this is what I expect.
Well,
this is the kind of Pike I listen to, and I'm not, like, disappointed, but I am not, excited.
Yeah, totally. Like, it was a really solid record. Like, the crazy part about this one is, like, an album like this, I feel like if he hadn't made, like, almost 300 albums, for example. You know what I mean? Like, if this was just an album, let's say if he put out one album a year, and he put this album out, I feel like people would have liked it. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot negative that you can say about it, but I also don't feel like, in the context of the insane art, musical, I'm going to call this outsider art project that he's doing, I don't feel like it stands out, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Not great. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
It didn't stand out. Not terrible. Straightforward rocker. I'd say it would be a good soundtrack to, like, a live special effects stage show. Kind of like the Indiana Jones one they had at MGM Studios in Disney World.
Wow, that's a reference I don't understand, but that's okay. And I would agree. I would say, like, this or, like, fountain music, like when they're doing the fountain shows, like, that's a thing. Like, this would fit for that as well. That said, listen to Shell if you can. That song is cool, and it's a cool little individual piece. Like, very rarely will I call out, like, specific parts of Pikes. I'll just say, like, oh, just listen to the Pike. But this one, I feel like there's enough of a distinction between that song and the rest of the record that, like, that's the part you should listen to.
Fair. Pike 128.
Wow, look at that. We're just cruising along.
Tucked into Dreams, released on April 19th, 2015. Just 7 days, 1 week after Paint to the Tile.
Most mellow Pike this week.
Yeah, I honestly, I liked this one by far the most. This one has a different feel to it. Especially the first 2 songs really set it apart from a lot of Buckethead's material. And, like, the first song especially, he uses a guitar tone that we have not heard him use so far. It sounds like a Telecaster with a ton of delay on it, and he never has anything that really sounds single coil, much less that, like, picky and delayed.
Yeah, he plays with effects a lot in this one, particularly delay. And yeah, it's a very mellow album. It is essentially a post-rock record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's fun. I enjoyed listening to it. I thought it was, like, one of the better mellow ones, because it's like, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with Buckethead mellow records. Like, sometimes he really plays into, like, the sappy, like, melodramatic kind of stuff. And this is not that. Like, this is very much in the respect of, like, it's very melodic and it's very mellow, but it's not trying really hard to be sad or anything like that. It's just an atmosphere piece.
Right. And there was one song in particular I thought on here, track 3, Gills, that sounded like a grunge instrumental. Like, it would have easily, if it had, like, Kurt Cobain singing on it, it would have fit just fine on like a Nirvana album for the most part.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common theme among this one and the next Pike. Actually, like there's a bit of an edge to some of the songs where you're like, oh, okay,
yeah. And this this definitely more so than the next one we listened to, I think had more of a kind of like a full band feel to it. Like it felt like this was just like a 4-piece post-rock band like jamming out for the most part.
Yeah, totally.
Which is pretty cool. I like.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of like synths in the background and stuff. There's some pad sounds.
There are, but not nearly as much as the next album. Like the next album has synth pads over the entire thing. So, yeah, I like this one.
It was pretty good.
Post-rocky, pretty melancholy, pretty beautiful.
So speaking of post-rocky, you ever listen to that band This Will Destroy You?
Yeah.
That's a pretty alright band. I've seen them play a couple of times. The last time I saw them play was probably, I think it was like end of 2019 or early 2020. It was like right before COVID stuff started popping off. And I went and saw them with this girl I was seeing at the time, and we went and got ramen afterwards, which was sick. But at the show specifically, there was one. Okay, here's the thing. Like, look, I get it if you want to use some pedals, right? Like, pedals are cool. That's a way of getting a sound. You know, there's a lot of different ways of getting a sound. You know, you can use a computer. You can use one of those like little computers in a box, like the Kempers and all that shit. Or you can use pedals and boutique amps and all that shit. Whatever way you do it, it's chill. You know, it's like, it's cool that there's a lot of options to do it. But I do have a pet peeve, and that is that if you're gonna use pedals, fucking like get your shit together, okay? And the main guitar player for This Will Destroy You, right? He had maybe like 5 or 6 pedals that he was running his guitar into, and then into his amp. He had them just chilling on the stage, all connected with different cables. Some plugged into power, some running off of battery.
Love it.
Just like they weren't connected to anything. They were literally just laying on the stage. He was sitting on a stool in front of them. And at one point during the show, this was maybe like 3/4 through the show, like his guitar cut out. And like he spent literally almost 20 minutes trying to figure out which pedal was having a problem, why it was having a problem, how he could bypass the pedal and make his guitar work again. And so it was just the rest of the band playing, and they were like holding it together pretty professionally. But still, like, it was so cringe and it was so lame. And I was like, dude, you could have avoided all of this if you just put that shit on a fucking pedal board, plugged all that shit in, had it just ready to go. Like, because you're not prepared, your audience is suffering, like, and I'm ashamed of you.
There's no reason, like, a 9-spot with the extender is like $30. Like, there's no reason anyone who has pedals should not have one.
I know, but also, like, if you're in a fucking headlining touring band, like, you are headlining small clubs, like, you should be more prepared than that. Like, I'm saying a lot of this from a place of jest. Like, I'm not hating too hard. Like, I get it. Shit happens. Whatever.
Yeah,
but
infinite jest.
Fuck off. We're not talking about infinite jest today. So I'm not hating too much. Like, I get it. Shit happens.
How about more like in faggot jest?
Oh my god! You better cut this out of the podcast.
I can say it. You're not allowed to.
And I'm not trying to. But like, dude, at a certain point, it's like, what are you doing? And so like the girl that I was hanging out with, like I had spent a bunch of time earlier that day, like talking shit about pedals. And then like that happened. And I was like, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Ha ha ha. Pedals are bad. And then I spent the next 4 months learning how to build and design guitar pedals.
That's really cool. Yeah. This one was a really nice, post-rocker. Pretty sleepy, and seeing as how it's called Tucked Into Dreams, I think this is the album that should come on the speakers half an hour before the park closes up for the night to let everyone know it's time to go.
Wow. Well, that's well thought of. I was just thinking about like sleeping and stuff. I was like, where's there a place you could sleep? Like, no fucking place has a place you can sleep.
Yeah, not a park.
Nah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Like,
I mean, so a public park, yes.
Yeah. Hard to place, you know, as a result of that.
Yeah. Pike 129, Forever Lake. released on April 21st, 2015, just 2 days after Tucked Into Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like this one the most of the Pikes this week.
I think I like the last one the most. This one was really nice though. It had a very consistent atmosphere to it.
We're talking about the last one.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I said the previous one, the last
one. The last one. Sorry. I thought you meant the last of the Pikes we listened to this. Cut all that out.
No, I'm going to let everyone know how dumb you are and how you don't understand language.
Yeah, that is true. I'm illiterate.
Only when speaking. So, Forever Lake, it is just 3 long tracks. The second one being the longest at a little over 17 minutes.
Also, the second track being the best track.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, You know what? I did like what was it? Shell off of Paint to the Tile a lot, but I'd say actually Wooden Horses, the second track off of Pike 129, Forever Lake, was probably my favorite track this week.
It's basically an ISIS song.
Yeah, and it's the longest track this week too. Like an ISIS song.
Yeah.
It's
no,
just
for
like,
real. That's what I mean. Like, it has that similar kind of vibe in that it's like dark post rock. It's like got a post rock feel, but it's not like super sad or super melancholy. It's like it's got a dark post rock feel, and then it builds to like some actual distorted guitar, not like overdrive guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, not super distorted.
It's kind of just like gainy guitar. It's not even like distorted or overdriven intentionally. It's just like really pretty saturated guitar.
Yeah, and it's cool how it builds up to that, and it's got a really satisfying, like, it starts, it builds, and then there's a climax, and then it fades, and it's like, it's a very well-structured song, I thought.
And I'd say besides the structure of the second song, where this album really shines is it's got a really good production.
It sounds really good. Yeah, the guitars in particular sound really good on this one. Yeah.
Are almost entirely clean, except for that second track. It definitely builds on gain a bit to some heavier parts, but like for the most part, I'd say like 80-90% of the guitars on this album are just clean electric guitar.
Yeah, but they have a defined space in the mix, and they sound really good. And because Buckethead's playing on this album specifically is primarily based around like riffs and like structures and stuff like that. It's like, it's not, I mean, there's like leads and stuff, but it's not super, I don't know. It's basically, he's structuring it all around these riffs. And because the guitars sound so good, it sells the riffs really well.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It was a good album. The only thing I think I really hoped for when listening to it that never really came was more dynamic bass lines, more melodic and harmonic bass lines. You know, the bass most of the time was just playing like quarter notes or eighth notes on the root. That's about it, which is, fine. It's, thing Buckethead does, but it doesn't really hold my attention because I like cool bass.
Sure. Yeah, no, I feel that. And we always call it out when there is like exceptional bass on the record,
None of these 3 albums.
Yeah, not a lot of super interesting bass, but it does the job. The atmosphere is still there, and I liked the atmosphere quite a bit.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Speaking of atmosphere, ambient shows. Have you ever been to an ambient show?
Yeah. I was going to like noise shows in Alaska when I still lived there.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, we've all been to a noise show.
Oh yeah,
into each life a noise show must fall.
I remember a really interesting like ambient noise show I went to in Alaska, and some cafe in Wasilla. I want to say the band's name was Magic Dragons or something like that.
Okay.
And like their thing was like they did like all electronic stuff, but one of their instruments was a theremin that worked off of like body electricity, basically.
Okay.
And so if you like held the theremin, it would make a certain tone based on like the heat and electricity of your body. And then if someone else touched you, the tone would change.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super interesting. And so with that, they like it was super interactive, and they had like all of the audience like touching each other and shit like that. And it was something that could never happen post-COVID. Never, ever. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, that sounds not in agreement with our new normal here.
No, not at all. Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
cool though.
I don't know if I haven't gone to a ton of like just atmospheric music shows, unless you're talking. Yeah, not really.
I went and
Noise.
saw. Have you ever listened to Finez?
No.
Finez is like I think he's Austrian or something. He's like a noise guy, but like he leans more into like the ambient. He's often spoken of in the same breath as like a William Basinski.
Okay.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
A William Basinski, a Tim Hecker, if you will.
Yes.
You know, that kind of scene. He's pretty big. It's FENNESZ. That was actually the last show I went to before COVID was a Finez show. And it was funny because like I think he's Italian, maybe he's Italian. I remember he came from Italy to play the show, and Italy was like exploding with coronavirus right at that time.
Sick.
And I was like, and I shook his hand after the show, and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to get COVID from Finez. And I was like, that would be at least a funny story. I didn't, thankfully. But yeah, that was the last show I went to before COVID, and it was a fun time. There was this noise dude. Like so you can always pick out the noisers, like the noise head guys. Like you can always pick them out in a crowd because like there was a lot of normies at this show. Because he's one of the bigger kind of ambient noise guys, but there were definitely guys there where you're like, that guy's a noise head. So let me describe to you the alpha noise head as I will describe him.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So he was wearing everything he was wearing was pink.
Okay.
He was wearing like pink. They looked like jeans or like cargo pants or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was wearing a pink beanie, and he was wearing a pink leather jacket. The pink leather jacket had a giant patch with the Pink Panther sewn into the back of it. He was also wearing a pink hoodie underneath. He had long hair and looked to be about 38 to 43 years old.
So you're saying he was 22?
He like started. I saw him instantly when I got there because I was like, oh, this fucking guy, like this guy's here for the noise because he looked like dirty, like his clothes were dirty, like he was definitely like a noise guy,
He was also cold beans out of a can.
That is a thing noise guys do, but no, he was drinking the cheapest beer they had at the venue.
Oh, I bet.
And like he drank a bunch of them too because I was watching him. I kept looking at him because like this guy is just like looking so crazy. And then as soon as Finez started, he didn't care about the opening artist, but as soon as Finez started playing, he went right up to the front of the stage, like right in front of the stage, and stood directly in front of the speaker, put his hoodie over his head. So he put the hood over his head, and then he just like stood there with like a can of like Rolling Rock Tall Boy, and then just basically headbanged into the speaker and drank his Rolling Rock. No earplugs, nothing, right in front of the speaker.
Yeah. The
The entire show did not move except to get refills on beer.
dude, you know that dude has the dankest smegma of all time.
That dude doesn't trim his pubes. He doesn't care. Like, he's
No.
beyond shit like that.
No, he's got like a community garden growing in a smegma.
Hell yeah.
It's
Yeah. That dude.
At this point, he has a wheel of dick cheese.
Jesus Christ.
At this point, his dick cheese is hard like Parmesan. Yeah, but I really liked Forever Lake.
I did too. It was probably my favorite bike this week. You should listen to it.
I think it'd be great cafe music, or maybe like a bistro.
I was gonna say because of the name and because of the vibe, I would say like if they had any like gardens, like this would be a good garden music as well. I know we've already talked about garden music before, but like I think this would be a good music for like a botanical garden type exhibit.
Okay, I feel it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey Brit.
Hey Spenser.
I'm gonna take you on a journey.
Yeah, where are we going, dude?
Into the bucket void.
Statements from the bucket
Oh my god. Wow.
We're here.
We're here. We're here. We're in the place that I want you to be. This week, a lot of comments on these Pikes.
Yeah, there were.
But a lot of positivity, I gotta say. Like,
that's good.
Not a lot of negativity. I mean, well, that's not good for us. We thrive on negativity.
Oh, we do.
As being filthy, dirty, degenerate bastards. So we thrive on filth and negativity. And not a lot of that to be found here. So
all podcasters are bastards. APAB.
Agreed. Yes. APCOB.
All casters are bastards? Is that where ACAB?
APC.
APCAB. Personal computer.
All personal computers are bastards.
I agree with this.
Yes.
Except for Linux. Linux.
Yeah. Linux ain't a bastard. Linus Torvalds, King of Booty Calls.
Hell yeah. That dude fucks.
Yeah, he fucks. Scooby Stacks, 4 years ago, says, Holy Mother, no words. Well, that's 4 words for you, baby.
That's true.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like when people say no words, because if you're saying no words, that means those are words.
Yeah,
those are
like,
2 words.
Like saying I'm speechless, I'm like, that counts as speech.
Yeah, it's like somebody says that to me, I'm like, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just said you weren't.
Yeah, you know,
dumbass.
The only way to properly say I'm speechless is like, ah!
Yeah, just scream ominously
and
into the
people
night.
Be like, wait, are you speechless? And you're like, ah!
Yeah, you lack of speech. Yes, totally. I don't remember which Pike this was from. I'm sorry. That part's hard to take down here. I think this was for Pike. This is the first Pike that we listened to this week. Pike 127. Paint of the Tile. YouTube user Eduardo Pavez says 8 months ago, the end of this song feels like a Coitus Interruptus. The solo was shaking my heart on emotions and then fades away like every 80s song.
Yeah, that was interesting how there was like a fade away in one of these songs, which usually doesn't happen unless it's the very last song in the album.
But Coitus Interruptus?
Yeah,
come on. Who says that?
I mean, what is that? Is that like being interrupted while fucking?
Well, a penis specifically fucking a vagina, yes.
Yeah, so interruptus? What does that mean?
Like somebody being like, hey, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm fucking, man. What do you think I'm doing?
Hey, old man, what are you doing? I'm just eating a bag of Doritos.
Coitus Interruptus, man. Like, come on, what are we doing? I don't know.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, Jim Biznett says...
More like Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer says, sweet bucket jams.
Yep, Sweet Home Alabama, sweet bucket jams.
Sweet Home Bucket Jam.
What do you think they're sweetened with? I imagine honey.
The bucket jams?
Yeah.
Bucket jams are just cane sugar, bruh.
Or the, you know those fake honey packets that they have at KFC that are just all high fructose corn syrup?
Do I know them? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's all
those are amazing. They're delicious.
Yeah, that's all.
It's just corn syrup and artificial flavor.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. Best human take on honey I've seen. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Who needs bees? Fuck bees. I'll pollinate the flowers myself. I'll just go cum on the flowers.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's how you pollinate flowers.
You're a pollinator. When I think of Brit straw, I think pollinator.
Yeah,
100%.
You know what? Thank you. That's how I like to think of myself. Like,
that's how you want to go down.
I'm the guy who jerks off at the community garden.
Hell yeah,
pollinating everywhere.
That's fantastic. I love that. Augusto Figueroa says 6 years ago, life isn't long enough to listen all BH songs. That's one of the best things of life. Awkward sentence. But Nostradumbass, great username. Nostradumbass says 2 years ago in response, so 4 years later, response, 162 hours, 55 minutes, and 11 seconds. Presumably that's the length of Buckethead's discography at that point in time, 2 years ago.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, which I like that. I like that this dude... Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, firstly, I like that this dude 4 years later was like, I gotta figure out how long Buckethead's discography is. Did it. And then just like didn't add any further commentary. Just is like the length of the discography, right here.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Definitely Bucketspectrum behavior.
On the Bucketspectrum. Jesus. Okay. Paradise Dunes DD O'Day says 1 year ago, calling out an old friend, "What's up, P-Sticks?"
Hell yeah. What is up, P-Sticks?
What's up, P-Sticks P?
Especially since Buckethead's not touring, what do you think P-Sticks is up to these days?
Probably making album art for the fucking billion Pikes we're going to get next year.
Probably stuffing some like reusable chopsticks into his urethra.
Yeah, probably. Just experimenting with various, objects.
Yeah. What do you imagine is like the most uncomfortable object that could fit in your urethra?
The most uncomfortable or least uncomfortable?
The most uncomfortable.
What? Like something that is too big?
No. That could still fit in there.
They could still fit. Like
something that comfortably fits in your urethra, but is still very uncomfortable.
I probably like an iPhone Lightning cable with like the head cut off.
Oh, that's true. I was actually gonna say like oil dipstick for your car.
That doesn't sound comfortable at all. Those things are wide as fuck. How wide's your goddamn urethra, bro?
That's for the next podcast we do, all right, Spencer? That's for my urethra cast.
Oh no.
My potty cast. Jesus
Christ. Okay, so I've seen a return in a behavior I've described before, which is the YouTube comment that is left as though it is a message to Buckethead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a few of these this week. I'm only going to call out one of them, and this is from YouTube user RM Redfeather 3 years ago, who says, quote, "Had the best dream last night because you were in it, filled with very meaningful interaction. Hope it comes true. Wish to share some time and space tangibly."
Okay. Let's just skip that one. That's creepy.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a bunch of weird comments this week.
Yeah.
WW2 Restorations says 4 years ago, "Like fresh, cool ocean air filling my lungs." And this is for Pike 128, by the way. Pale Hill, which is a song on that record, "fills my ears and mind, soothes my tortured soul." So it's that last part that gets me. Like, this dude's tortured? Like, how is he tortured, bro?
Do you think anyone leaving comments on Buckethead Pikes is not tortured, Spencer? This podcast
That's a good point.
is our own form of like self-imposed purgatory.
I agreed. Yes,
So,
that is true. It is inescapable, as is the suffering of existence.
And these people are out there going it alone.
That's true. Well, they're going it with us.
That's true.
True. We're there for them in a way,
holding their hand as we walk into the darkness.
And that's sweet. I like that. Speaking of walking into darkness, YouTube user Maysam Kadimi says 6 years ago, quote, "Buckethead is my cry."
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Interesting situation here with Paul Burrows. 5 months ago, so it's pretty recent, says, quote, "I'm the same height as Buckethead, the same age, the same birth month, the same heart condition, but he kicks my ass on guitar. He's amazing."
Yeah.
How likely do we think that is?
Gosh, a dude who's 6'6", born in the same month of Buckethead is already pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
Heart condition, that's pretty likely.
Yeah.
Him sucking a guitar compared to Buckethead. That's
Yes.
the most likely part of
That
that
is
story.
the most likely
That's
part.
the only
Yeah, yeah.
thing I actually
That's the
believe.
part we know is true,
Oh.
for sure. Like, there's
Oh.
no way that part isn't true.
Mm.
Yeah. No, 100%. I love it when these folks show up in YouTube comment sections, and that's why I'm bringing it up here. But on one of the songs for, I think it was Pike 129. So like sometimes and this is something that I really like, actually. Shout out to both YouTube users Pulley8 and Humano Being 69 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the dudes who generally post the Pikes on YouTube. As of Pike, around 100 or so, they've started not only posting the whole Pike, but posting like standout songs as separate posts.
Yes, yeah.
Which is great for me because it drums up a lot more YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also great because it gives a shout out to some of the more standout songs, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
So shout out to those dudes for doing that. But anyways, on one of those, for the last Pike we listened to, Pike 129, Forever Lake, Brit O says, 4 years ago, edited.
Ooh.
The Earth is flat. Ice walls surround us. Dropping knowledge bombs.
Interesting. I didn't expect to see any flat earthers.
Yeah. No. So, like, okay.
The bucket void.
I'm actually really excited about this for a number of reasons. Firstly, do you think, and I'm going to ask the Buckethead subreddit about this, but do you think there are slunks, Buckethead fans, who are also flat Earth believers?
There has to be.
I think there's some crossover. I don't think it's the majority.
No, it's definitely not the majority.
Definitely not.
There's no way.
But I bet it's the sort of community, where like politics and stuff and conspiracies and stuff like that don't generally get brought up.
No.
It's almost always just about like music and positivity and like being nice, which is honestly like it's one of the more wholesome communities on the internet, I think, and it's like generally like cool and rad, and I have nothing negative to say about it. I'm just saying, like, as a result of like things like politics not being a big part of Buckethead's music or Buckethead's fandom, I think that we have probably a pretty wide spectrum of political beliefs within that community. And I think that with that said, there's, like you said, a likelihood there's some flat earth boys in there. And I say boys because they're definitely men.
Yeah, I mean, some women listen to Buckethead, just not many. And I imagine the ones that do aren't fucking doofus asses.
Flat earthers.
There always could be. You never know.
That is true. But I don't think this person is necessarily a Buckethead fan. They're probably just trying to spread their message. But if they are a Buckethead fan, amazing.
Hell yeah.
Spread that flat earth good news.
Spread it.
You love to see it. And now we have two statements here from Jordan Vine. And I feel like these two statements represent both the duality of man and the duality of our favorite YouTube commenter, Jordan Vine.
Because what about the planetary duality?
Yes, the Faceless's 2007 album Planetary Duality
Correct.
Of the YouTube comment sphere.
Yes.
In that we have the opposite ends of a very large spectrum here. So Jordan Vine enters our commentary pretty early, and he says, quote, 3 years ago, "The best guitarist I have ever heard in my entire fucking life! No other guitarist beats Buckethead! No way, no one!" Jordan Vine 69, bro. But then, enters again. In a different way. 3 years ago, Jordan Vine, quote, "Dreamy, lovely, wonderful, exquisite, and deliciously beautiful."
Wow, that was really subdued for Vine.
I know. Can you believe it?
No.
I know. It's very strange. And
Did his caps lock key break? Or?
well, so I lied. There's a third comment from Jordan Vine.
Oh, no. Okay.
He left a comment on all 3 Pikes this week. I love that. Pike 129. 3 years ago, Jordan Vine says, quote, "By the way, this is beautiful and magnificent."
Yep.
Agreed.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan Vine.
I always love to hear from you.
You really do. I tried to find some other interesting stuff for us to to talk about. The only thing somewhat funny that I found in my searches on Amazon for bucket-related things was this review for a collapsible bucket from a Amazon user named Tried and True, who gave it 1 star, and said, "No thanks. Bought this to soak my feet. Not big or sturdy enough."
Excuse me?
Pretty good. I keep hitting the fucking mic cable, and that's going to be a pain. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to have to fix that.
I should do this one instead, have it hang.
Yeah, I will do that, yes. Britt, will you kindly talk to us about the menu for the Rock Woodfired Pizza?
I would love to. As promised, I have brought up the menu for the Rock Woodfired Pizza.
What's some standouts here?
So, some of the stuff definitely has like rock and roll themed names and stuff. There's some stuff that's just like, onion rings, the rock wings, shattered queso nachos, stuff that's like,
that's a dumb name.
Shit you'd find at, Applebee's or whatever. But if you go down to the pizzas, you start to see the stuff that they actually have that's really very much rock and roll themed. So
here for it.
For a pizza here, we have the T-Rex Bang-A-Gong pizza with grilled chicken, bell peppers, white onions, pineapple, mozzarella, Romano cheese, cilantro, garlic butter, and a sweet chili red sauce. You have the Stairway to Heaven with prosciutto, mozzarella, arugula, tomatoes, parmesan, and Romano cheese. We have the Crazy Train ultimate meat pizza with pepperoni.
Meat pizza?
Shut up, Randy Rhoads. Pepperoni, hot Italian sausage, bacon, onions, garlic, oregano, and hot cherry peppers.
You know, because Randy Rhoads died in a plane crash, and that's how they typically move meat around. It's in planes. That's why it's a meat pizza.
Right.
Yeah, meat lovers.
Okay, we have the Bad to the Bone, which is technically not the Rock pizza. It's the Blues pizza with pepperoni, bacon, ham, mozzarella, and Romano cheese. We got the Bad Out of Hell, the Buffalo Soldier, California
Wait, hold
Dreamin'.
on. Is Bad Out of Hell a meatloaf pizza?
No, it's chicken, hot cherry peppers,
missed
spinach,
opportunity,
and walnuts. Yeah, like what the fuck? You got the My Sharona, which instead of meat, there's just pieces of a person named Sharona.
Wait, no, hold on. Is My Sharona the name of a calzone?
No. My calzona was
I
so
know,
much
that's
better,
what I was thinking. I was like, my calzona, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and you've got like the Hungry Like the Wolf pizza.
Hell yeah.
Which sounds great, but there's no wolf on it. What the fuck? Like, it's brisket and onions. Come on.
I mean, wolves would probably enjoy that.
Yeah. Then for burgers, you have the Hurts So Good.
Ugh. Like sadomasochism burger.
Isn't that a fucking Bob Seger song?
Is it a Bob Seger song?
Hurts so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. Maybe that's, I don't know. Is that? I don't know who that is.
Nice.
Fucking kids menu sucks. Nothing funny there.
Nice.
Nothing funny. It's okay. And then here we go.
My god. My god.
Now I think the best part of this menu has got to be the beverages. You've got the Don't Fear the Reaper vodka and gin drink. Oh no, the Don't Fear the Reaper is basically just a Long Island iced tea. I fear that drink. Holy shit.
But no, no, hold on. No, before you get to that, you are ignoring the fact that the drinks are called buckets.
That's true. They are called buckets. Yeah, because they're served in little buckets, as you can see.
Oh my God, they are!
Handle, yeah.
Bro, we have to get drunk at the Rock Woodfired Pizza.
And put the buckets on our head and be like, we're Buckethead. And they'll be like, sir, I cut you off 2 hours ago.
I really want one of those buckets, but please tell me about the next section of the menu, Britt.
So, yeah, we've got just some really great drink names here. We've got the Truly Madly Deeply Skinny. My personal favorite, the Breakfast at Tiffany's Mimosa.
Yes!
So good.
The classic rock song.
Yes, very much a rock song.
What a rocking song Breakfast at Tiffany's is.
Ooh, here's my favorite drink named after an ethnic slur. They have the Gypsy with ruby red deep eddy vodka.
Do you think that's
X-rated liqueur?
Do you think that's a Dio reference? Because he has that song Gypsy.
No, that's definitely a reference to the Fleetwood Mac song Gypsy.
Lame.
Yeah.
The Dio song's better.
Yeah, it is.
But will you tell us what they call these drinks that you're talking to us about?
Yes, unfortunately. So they have the buckets, and those are like the huge buckets. But then for these smaller drinks, they call them Rocktails.
I love that so. Dude, I'm actually I actually want to go here now. Like, I want to go to this place with you.
There's one in Queen Anne.
Yeah. Yeah, we should go there.
I'm so down for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. Those are the best names. The Wango Tango Mojito.
That's pretty good.
The Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar. That's pretty fun. Here's a good one too. They have the Fortunate Son, named after a CCR song about like being drafted into war, which is definitely what you want to think about when you're drinking. Is this a pizza place or a VFW? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's that.
Pretty good. I love hearing that, Britt. Thanks for bringing that up for me. We're going to close things out with a couple of my favorite segment of the show.
And my least favorite segment of
which
the show.
is Statements from the Britain Void.
I need to make a song for that. So I can just keep playing it and you can't hear you say anything.
We're going to do two today. The first one, on December 30th, 2018 at 7:34 p.m., you texted me, "Oh man, I totally slept on Lost Lonely Boys still existing." And then followed up, "I remember when they used to play their commercial on VH1 and they were all, 'It's Willie Nelson's favorite band from Texas.' And then they show a clip with Willie Nelson introducing them on stage and he's all, 'This here's my favorite band from Texas.' And I wish I could remember shit that actually fucking matters."
That would be nice, because that commercial like plays in my head like once a week and I'm like, I don't care about you, Los Lonely Boys. Little bit closer to heaven.
Oh, man.
And like that just fucking lives rent free in my head. Like someone should be paying me advertising, but instead I just get fucking Willie Nelson's favorite band from Texas.
Yeah, man, what happened to Lost Lonely Boys? Let's hope tax fraud.
So if I recall, they kind of like went on the public outs because they were one of those bands that like came up during the Bush years, and then I want to say their guitarist was caught with a weed.
Oh,
like that fucking matters, and like you didn't expect that from like the Native American band, like funk rock band from Texas. What?
Yeah, like you didn't expect that from a band. I think is like a better
like a band of brown dudes, like. What? Even bands of white dudes are smoking weed. John Popper, the Blues Travelers, traveling around with fucking 2 pounds of weed and a bunch of guns.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on.
Everybody be smoking weed. I've met death metal bands that smoke more weed than I can like properly convey in words.
We've smoked. We got really high one time with Decrepit Birth.
We did, yes.
Those dudes smoke the craziest amount of weed.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Really nice, dude.
Really nice
especially
dudes.
their vocalist, Bill.
Yeah,
like,
Bill's super nice.
Super nice guy.
That band smells exactly like they look, which is not great. However, they are all super nice dudes and amazing musicians, really great performers.
Agreed.
One of the better touring like tech death bands out there.
I mean, at least they were. They're like barely a band anymore.
Yeah.
But they were really good.
Didn't they release something like 4 years ago or something?
Something like that. It was not the best.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Diminishing Between Worlds, though,
So
I will
good.
stand forever.
So good. Was that 2010, something like that?
Yeah.
2009?
2008, I think.
Was it? Wow. I didn't
Yeah, because it came out. I remember I first heard it
still in
in
Alaska?
Alaska
Yeah.
when I first heard it. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Crazy, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. That record came out like 13 years ago.
It's been a long road.
It's been a long road. Yeah, Star Trek Enterprise. Don't get me started. Don't get me fucking started.
That's the next podcast, bitches.
ENT, motherfucker. Anyways, to close things out tonight. Hold on.
Burp.
To close things out tonight, on April 2nd, 2020, you texted me, quote, oh, sorry, April, sorry, let's do that again. To close things out tonight, on April 2nd, 2020, at 3:57 p.m., you texted me, quote, Stonewall didn't happen so I could not be warmed up in a specialized ceramic holder called a boat and be poured over mashed potatoes, dog.
Statements from the bucket
Stonewall gravy? I'm so confused. I feel like we're missing some vital context to that.
Like, I don't even understand. I reread the whole thread. It was like something about like you made like what, you know, that thing where it's like she believed he lied. That thing, where there's like parentheses or whatnot.
Right.
You made a thing like that where it said gravy, but also gay. And then like you were riffing on that. I think.
Cool. I like that. Yeah. Gravy is pretty gay. Like if you think about it, like cum and sawmill gravy are kind of the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right.
What do you got to recommend this week, Spencer?
Oh my goodness, I'm still obsessed with the KLF, dude.
They're
like,
pretty cool.
I can't stop being
this
obsessed
is the
with them.
third week you've recommended them, so figure something else out, jackass. It's getting old.
No, for reals. And I do have other things to recommend. So the real thing I want to recommend actually is something that honestly has probably been recommended to you already, and probably been just going around it's been going around the internet a lot. But that is, I Think You Should Leave season 2.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Excellent.
I Think You Should Leave, if you're not familiar, is a sketch comedy show on Netflix. The first season aired a couple of years ago, and it's awesome. They put out a new season that just came out like a couple of weeks ago, and it's fucking amazing. In fact, like, have you watched it yet?
No, I only watched like half the first season.
I want to watch the second season with you.
No.
It's really good. It's so good. Like it's really fantastic. I've watched the second season 3 times now. That is how much I like it. It's amazing.
And it's only like 6 episodes or something.
Yeah. It's like an hour and a half.
Gotcha.
The whole thing is like an hour and a half. So I've basically just been treating it like a movie.
Yeah.
And like, it's so good. It's so good. Bob Odenkirk makes a guest appearance in an incredible sketch.
That's not. Is that produced by Absolutely?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's a lot of those actors. So also, like, did you watch Veep?
I loved Veep.
Okay, so you remember Richard from Veep?
Yeah. Oh, the black guy.
Yeah. So he
shaking
is
hands with Benjamin Franklin.
yeah. So he's in a sketch in season 2 of I Think You Should Leave. That is my favorite sketch they've ever done. It's called the Little Buff Boys Competition, and it's incredible.
Nice.
It's so good. Oh my god, watch it. It's so good. Britt, what you got to recommend me?
This isn't for you because it's anime and you will not watch it.
I won't. I've gone on record to say I no anime.
Well,
My Tinder profile, it just says no anime. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm more anti-anime than I am astrology, and I think astrology is real fucking dumb. So
It's
that's where I'm at.
Here's the thing, though. Astrology is dumb and doesn't make sense or exist. Anime exists. It's there. It always has been.
I don't recognize its existence. It's non-canonical for me.
It's like you're like a fucking dog watching TV. You can't actually see the images on the screen. If someone puts on anime, you're like, why is the TV still off? I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I actually watched an anime that I liked somewhat recently. I watched Princess Mononoke.
It's a great anime.
And that was a really good film.
I mean, yeah.
That's a well-directed film. It's very good.
Studio
Ghibli, it tells a really
yeah.
good story. It looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. I mean, it is Fern Gully, but it's Fern Gully, but done in a unique style.
What isn't though? Avatar is Fern Gully done in
Dances
a super
with Wolves
leftist style.
is Fern Gully.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's all Fern Gully. It's Fern Gully all the way down.
Hell yeah. Life is Fern Gully.
Pike 129 is Fern Gully.
You know what? Buckethead is Fern Gully.
100%.
Why not?
Yeah. What you got in the anime space, bro?
It's,
in the weeb zone. Welcome to the weeb zone.
It's an anime that aired from 2013 to 2016 called Assassination Classroom. And
it sounds like some hella weeb shit.
So I'm just gonna give you the synopsis from the top of my head. So
okay,
it is about a humanoid octopus who is the new homeroom teacher of a remedial middle school class, and he has tasked them with killing him by the end of the semester. Otherwise, he's going to blow up the world.
All right.
It rules. It's so good. I love it.
Why did it run for so long? If that's the fucking story, that's you're in and out in a day. How do you extend that?
I don't know, dog. You just keep going in and out. Keep raw dogging that shit, dog.
You gotta raw dog that anime pussy.
Hell yeah. You gotta raw dog that weeb.
Name the episode that. Name it Raw Dog That Anime Pussy. Fuck it. What? Nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, you know you're gonna start getting comments from weebs at that point. Which is cool, dude. Weeb pussy's awesome.
I beg to differ, but anyways. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Watch Brit's dumb anime bullshit, or watch my sick dope
Spenser's
and Chad.
dumb
Chad. Fucking sketch comedy
the
show.
Chad show that everyone in America's watching. Yeah, super Chad to be like everyone else, Spenser.
It's really good though.
When
you watch it, you're gonna be like, yeah, I understand why everyone's watching this. It's really fucking good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And your anime's probably good too. If you like anime.
It's super good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what you get.
Oh no! Now I know what it's time for now. Oh,
Shut up! Shut up and take it.
No!
Shut up and take it.
Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke.
After several decades representing him, what was the one substance that Anthony Kiedis' agent told him he had to quit his addiction to for the sake of his career?
LA Looks hair gel.
Teenage vaginal secretions.
No.
In the 1980s, until his death, what standard fee did legendary rock and roll performer Chuck Berry require for every show that he played?
Fuck. Oh no.
Well, the fee he required was feces from an upper-rate prostitute in his mouth after the show. In the Bible, what boat would save all of the animals 2 by 2 from a flood, but only if they were bisexual?
I hate this joke.
Noah's Bjork.
What?
According,
I thought you were going to say Titanic.
no, that doesn't make any sense. It's Noah's Ark. Like, Titanic isn't in the Bible.
Titanic could be in the Bible.
Honestly, Titanic is a great punchline. I'm going to use that somewhere down the line. According to Kiss singer and guitarist Paul Stanley, for their near 50-year history, what is the one thing Gene Simmons has refused to play? The bass correctly.
He's like a shitty Joey DeMaio, right?
He's so no, like the thing about Joey DeMaio is like part of his thing is being not shitty at what he does.
That's true.
Like he's like, you know, give him all the flack you want for being a rhythm guitarist or whatever. He was one of the best living power metal guitarists, if you put it that way. Like, as far as live,
I love this take.
as far as like fucking like being consistent live, he's been amazing live for the past like 30 years. It's nuts.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, dude has as steady of a right hand as James Hetfield.
Okay,
yeah,
rock and roll.
Before he was kicked out of Kiss for his numerous substance abuse problems, where did guitarist Ace Frehley buy his crack cocaine?
Tell me, Brit.
Well, Detroit, Rock City.
Wow, you're fired. You're fired from the podcast for that. It's too much for me.
What kind of popper do famous incestuous gay couple, the Blues Brothers, prefer to use when engaging in homosexual sex?
I love the setup for this joke. I just gotta say that the wait, sorry, what did you say? The incestuous, like.
So, what kind of popper do famous incestuous gay couple, the Blues Brothers, prefer to use when engaging in homosexual sex?
I just love the idea that the Blues Brothers fucking each other. That's so good.
So what kind of popper?
Tell me, Britt.
The blues traveler, John Popper.
Jesus Christ. Whoa. They're getting up to some greasy shit.
Hell yeah.
If they're involving John Popper. You know John Popper kinks.
Oh,
John Popper got kinks, bro.
He keeps it in the trunk, baby. Following the January 6th Capitol insurrection, what overfunded institution completely disbanded within several weeks?
I know the answer to this joke, and it's a brilliant joke, please.
Iced Earth.
Yeah! John Schaefer, fuck you, buddy. Suck a dick, John Schaefer. Unless you're into that. I don't want you to do that if you're into it.
What is called black, but is entirely white, smells bad, and eats glue?
I know the answer. Go.
The National Socialist black metal scene.
Pretty good.
Did you hear about the movie Disney is making to warn kids about the dangers of butt chugging? They're calling it an extremely boofy movie.
Wow, that shouldn't work as well as it does. That's a terrible joke, but I love it. It's great.
Although they existed in the early days of the internet, what was Tommy Lee's Methods of Mayhem's biggest viral hit?
I don't remember.
Tommy Lee's Hepatitis C. Why doesn't Eric Clapton let his children near his eyes? Well, they say that the eyes are the window to the soul.
Jesus Christ. I just want to go on the record and say fuck Eric Clapton.
Yeah. The National Highway Safety Association this week announced what they're calling the most dangerous vehicle ever. It's a van that was in production in the late 70s with apparently up to a 1 in 7 fatality rate. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yeah, they're calling it Van Halen.
Fuck.
What is Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx's favorite canned good?
Tell me.
Narcan.
Fuck. Yes, though.
Although he's toured each of the 50 states, what state does Ted Nugent refuse to acknowledge? His prostate. And we're going to close it on this one. What's black and white and pees the bed?
I don't know.
Slash.
Bucket joke.
Jesus Christ. What a smorgasbord of bucket jokes, bucket adventures, bucket voids, bucket friends, and bucket foes.
We went there. We had a bucket journey today.
Certainly did.
Indeed. This has been Britain.
And this has been Spenser. You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
Stay greasy, bucketheads.
A namaste.